Welcome back to High Stakes. Elevate your game by subscribing to our channel so you never miss our daily content. For exclusive access to our premium betting picks, join our Patreon. Find the link in the comments section below. Stay ahead with High Stakes. Los Angeles Angels versus Washington Nationals. Patrick Corbin is one of the worst starters in baseball, and there's no reason for him to continue getting hammered. But he's under contract making $35 million a year, so management doesn't want him pitching in relief. They are also rebuilding, so if they were going for a playoff spot, he might be coming out of the bullpen. Kenning isn't great, but he should get plenty of run support led by former Nats 3B Anthony Rendon, who went 3-4-5 on Friday night in his former ballpark. This is pretty good value, so take the road team here. Take Angels to win. The Nationals came into this series going over in 3 straight games, so they had finally started to hit. But the bottom line is that Corbin is awful. Last season, he pitched decently against the Angels, allowing 4 runs in 5 innings in a 6-4 Washington win from Los Angeles. The Angels hit .250 against left-handers, so that should not be an issue against the southpaw Corbin. Kenning walks too many batters and has allowed 6 runs in a game twice over his last 5 starts. Take the over. Cincinnati Reds versus Milwaukee Brewers. Myers has been effective in his prior 3 starts, generating a 2.51 ERA, and he has not lost a start at home in 2024, producing a 2-0 record with a 3.62 ERA in 7 games. The Brewers have won 4 of their previous 5 matchups with the Reds, including 2 of 3 in Milwaukee earlier this season. Milwaukee has exceeded 5 runs versus the Cincinnati pitching staff in 5 of their last 6 meetings. The Reds have been inconsistent away from their home stadium in 2024, losing over 50% of their games. The Brewers have won 3 straight games in 4 of their last 6. Milwaukee has the edge on offense in this matchup, ranking in the top 10 in multiple categories, including 4th in batting average with .259. Milwaukee hitters have also excelled away from their home stadium, ranking 4th in road batting average. Reds hitters rank near the bottom of the league in several offensive categories, including batting 28th in batting average, so they may not have the tools to mount a comeback if they find themselves down early. Adding to the Reds' woes in this contest, Milwaukee's pitching staff is solid, ranking 8th in the league in ERA with 3.77. The stats and trends strongly support a Milwaukee victory on Saturday. Take the Brewers. Myers has been effective at home this season, generating a 3.62 ERA in 7 starts. Martinez has pitched 2.2 innings of scoreless ball in his 2 relief appearances against Milwaukee this season. 4 of the previous 7 matchups between these 2 squads at American Family Field went under the run total. Reds hurlers have excelled while pitching away from their home stadium, ranking 2nd in the league in road ERA with 3.54, so the odds Milwaukee scores quickly in bunches are low. The Brewers' pitching staff has been a strength as well, ranking 7th in the league in ERA with 3.77. The Reds' offense ranks in the bottom half of the league in several key categories, including 26th in batting average with .231, so they may struggle to add to the score sheet in this contest. The Reds' pitching staff has limited their opponents to 4 runs or less in 6 of their previous 7 games on the road. The Brewers will be without one of their most productive hitters, outfielder Christian Yelich, who is out with a back issue. Most signs point to a lower scoring affair in Milwaukee over the weekend. Take under 8.5 runs. Texas Rangers versus New York Yankees. The New York Yankees are coming off a home series loss against the Los Angeles Angels, but have the much better run in recent times compared to the Rangers, tallying an 8-3 record in their past 11 games, making every one crucial in the AL East race going forward. While the Rangers may have the 6-4 advantage in their recent head-to-head rivalry, with New York posting a 7-2 record in their past 3 series played at home, and with the advantage on the mound, expect them to extend that momentum in Game 1 of a doubleheader. Take New York to win. While the under comes in at 6-2 in their past 10 head-to-head meetings, Yankee Stadium is notorious for being a hitter's ballpark, and with both players coming in posting ERAs over 3.60, expect more of the same in this one. For Texas, the over is 8-2 in their past 10 overall games, with an average of 7 runs allowed per game in their past 4 games played away from home. For New York, the over also sits at 8-2 in their past 10, with an average of 5 runs allowed per game over that time. Take over 8 runs. Cleveland Guardians versus Minnesota Twins. These division rivals have met just 5 times this season and not since mid-May, so the fight for the Central is truly on at this point. Heading into Friday, the Guardians were 5-0 in a head-to-head this season, with an average margin of victory of 3 runs per game. Yet, they ended this series on their roughest patch of the year. The Guardians are 9-10 since the All-Star break. Minnesota has gone 9-8 since the break, and they did enjoy a nice 5-game win streak to bring them a little closer to Cleveland in the standings. Woods Richardson has enjoyed a pretty successful rookie campaign, and he's done well at Target Field this season, going 1-0 with a 3.40 ERA in 9 starts. He only allowed 3 home runs in those games. With so much more on the line in this one, I expect the rookie Erler to lock in for this one. Opponents are hitting just .202 against Woods Richardson at home this season. This is a good opportunity for the hosts to get one back in the standings. Take the Twins. In the first 5 meetings this season, these two rode to the under to the tune of 4-1. They averaged a combined 7.4 runs per game. Both sides have some decent offense available but are both prone to going quiet at times. Cleveland scored just 3 runs apiece in a doubleheader on Wednesday, and they have been shut out 3 times already in the second half. Minnesota scored 3 runs or less in their 3 games before the start of this series, and they've been shut out twice since the All-Star break. We noted Woods Richardson's success at home this season. He's done well to limit the opposing offense to get on and do much damage, and having a slumping Guardians offense to attack should suit him. His counterpart, Williams, had really only been successful on the road this season, going 1-0 with a 0.59 ERA in 3 starts, compared to an 0-4 record with an 8.66 ERA in 4 home starts. The under is 7-3 in the last 10 meetings between these two. Take the under. Baltimore Orioles versus Tampa Bay Rays. Baltimore is starting to find a rhythm since the All-Star break. They lead the American League, and they have dominated the Rays this season. They are 7-1 against Tampa Bay, and they will add to that tally on Saturday. The Orioles are starting Corbin Burnes, who has an ERA of 1.35 ERA against the American League East. Baltimore is 8-3 this season when he starts on the road. Tampa Bay has struggled versus Baltimore with their .207 batting average. The Rays will also be starting Drew Rasmussen. He is making his first start of the year and second appearance. The second game since an injury that brought him down in May of 2023. In his rehab assignments, he had an ERA of 8.59 in 5 games for AAA Durham. He is untrustworthy, and I expect the Orioles to take advantage and win easily. Take Baltimore Orioles minus 1.5 runs. Baltimore will be starting Corbin Burnes on Saturday. He has been flawless this season, and he holds an ERA of 3.20 on the road. He already threw well against the Rays earlier this season. He gave up 0 runs in 7 innings. This will be a low-scoring game because Tampa Bay will not be able to generate any offense with their .207 batting average versus Baltimore this season. Take under 8.5 runs. Chicago Cubs versus Chicago White Sox. When looking at the last 7 starts for these pitchers, there's a bit of a difference here as Justin Steele is 3-2 with a 3.71 ERA and a 1.15 WHIP in 43.2 innings, while Chris Flexen is 0-4 with a 6.43 ERA and a 1.69 WHIP in 35.0 innings in that span. When looking at the offenses in the last 7 days, these offenses are on 2 different levels, as the Cubs are 6th in the sport with a .814 team OPS, while the White Sox are 26th with a .664 team OPS in that stretch. Go with the Chicago Cubs to cover the run line here. Take Chicago Cubs minus 1.5 runs. These teams showcased on Friday that they can score runs in bunches against one another, so they should be able to do so again in this game. Since the All-Star break, these pitchers are struggling as Justin Steele is 1-2 with a 5.82 ERA and a .294 batting average against in 21.2 innings for starts, while Chris Flexen is 0-3 with a 9.53 ERA and a 2.18 WHIP in 17.0 innings for starts in the second half of the season. These offenses in the month of August have been doing well enough, as the Cubs are averaging 5.38 runs in their 8 games, while the White Sox are scoring 3.57 runs in their 7 games. All in all, go with over 8.5 runs in this game.